Never have I ever been this excited to hear details about a show's return. Come on, we couldn't miss this opportunity now, could we? Today, we're going to talk about the release date for the show's third season, predictions for the new plotline for the show, casting decisions, and a lot more. Stick around. First, let's talk about everything we need to know about the upcoming season itself. Let's look into the release date for Season 3. The first season of the show was released in the midst of the pandemic in April of 2020, while Season 2 dropped a little over a year later on July 15th, 2021. Fans who were hoping to watch the new season in January, we have some bad news. But for the realists among you, word on the street is that unless something goes south in the production and shooting department due to the ongoing pandemic, we are hopeful that we'll get to watch Season 3 in the first half of 2022. And it actually makes sense too, because filming for the new season began back in November 2021, which means that we are definitely on track for that target, because Season 2 began filming back in November of 2020 as well. Now, casting details for Season 3. Since we didn't have any characters leaving the show by the end of the second season, we're expecting to have all of the major characters return for Season 3. Of course, these following names have not been confirmed by Netflix itself, but we don't have reason to believe that any of these people would be exiting the show anytime soon. Maitreyi Ramakrishnan will obviously be resuming playing the awkward protagonist Devi, and her two potential love interests, Paxton and Ben, will also be making their way back to our screens, played by the sexy Darren Barnett and the lovely Jaren Lewison. Lee Rodriguez and Ramona Young will be returning to make sure Devi has her support system in the form of Fabiola and Eleanor intact. And we will also be seeing the beautiful and graceful Purna Yaganathan and the brilliantly talented actor and dancer Risha Morjani resume their roles as Nalini and Kamala, two of the best role models for any young girl to have around growing up. And we are hopeful to see Senthil Ramamurthy return to play Devi's dad Mohan, even if it is only in flashbacks. We would love to see Christina Karchner's Eve return to play Fabiola's love interest, while Megan Suri must return to continue to play Anissa. Trent, played by Benjamin Norris, adds the comic relief that we love for him, but we'd like to see his storyline play out a little more in the upcoming season. Niecy Nash, who plays Jamie, needs to return to Season 3 because we all know that the Vishwakumar fam is nowhere near done with therapy. We also expect Prashant, played by Rushi Kota, Mr. Kulkarni, portrayed by Utkarsh Ambedkar, and the history teacher Mr. Shapiro, played by Adam Shapiro, to return to our screens for this new season. And former tennis pro player John McEnroe would undoubtedly be resuming his role as our favorite narrator. We just hope that we can get to hear more from Andy Samberg or Gigi Hadid as narrators for Ben and Paxton, or maybe some other beloved celebrities could voice the inner struggles and thoughts for a few of our other characters. Who knows? Now, we have a new addition to the cast. And for now, the news of the big announcement. So on January 20th, Deadline reported that the actor best known for playing Ravi Panikar on 911 on Fox, young actor Anirudh Pisharodi, will be joining the show as a recurring character on the show. According to the article, he will be playing the role of Dez on the third season of Never Have I Ever, who is described as an Indian-American teenage boy who is smart like Devi, but comes from one of those elite private schools. Anirudh, barely being able to contain his excitement, shared the article on Twitter and confirmed that not only was he going to be playing Dez, but that he was also extremely excited to have been made part of the show. In the same tweet, he also teased fans by saying that he couldn't wait for the audiences to see what we have been up to. Pisharodi becoming a part of the third season for the show has so far been the biggest official announcement that we have had as of yet, ever since the news of the show being renewed for Season 3 was revealed by Netflix back in August 2021. Next, we're looking into the Season 3 plot for the show. First, a quick recap. So, the second season began with Devi making some terrible decisions as usual, as she decides to date both Paxton and Ben before she moves to India with her family. This never ends up happening, and Devi actually causes a lot of damage to both guys as they find out. Soon after, Devi begins to date Paxton officially, while Ben gets into a relationship with a new girl in school and Devi's new friend, Anissa. At this point, Devi becomes excessively jealous of Anissa, and Ben also ends up realizing that the feelings he had for Devi may have been stronger than he was willing to admit. Paxton, however, initially hopes to keep his relationship with Devi a secret as he is embarrassed, not of Devi, but rather of the fact that he forgave her for cheating on him, because he is afraid of how he will come across to his friends and the rest of the school. Of course, this doesn't sit right with Devi, and she decides to walk away from the possibility of ever having anything to do with Paxton. Who does Devi end up with? She ends up going to the dance without either of the boys, seriously sad and ready to return home when Paxton shows up, and being the hero that he is, he hits Devi with his Jeep. Well, it's only fair since Devi caused him to get hit by a car first at the house party. Anyway, after making sure Devi is fine, Paxton confesses his feelings to Devi, pouring his heart out, giving us all sorts of feels, and we believe that everything is finally going to be right in Devi's life. But then things change again. Towards the end of the finale episode for Season 2, Eleanor reveals to Ben that Devi had been pining over him for weeks. She tells him that Devi was jealous of Anissa and even tried to keep the two apart at the relay. And of course, she tells him that Devi wanted to choose him after the two went to Malibu, setting the record straight that it had definitely not always been Paxton. And just like that, Ben's expressions reveal just how much he was still into the idea of being with Devi. What is going to happen now? Are we going to see Ben pining over Devi this time, now that she is officially in a relationship with Paxton and is clearly into him? Of course, Ben's relationship with Anissa is done for, and we can't wait to see how the entire situation is going to play out, especially with Des and his storyline getting merged into the existing messy plot that is waiting to play itself out. We do know this for sure. The show is going to dive in a little deeper in Season 3. Mindy Kaling revealed that the new season is going to have a very personal angle, as it will shift its focus more on the relationship between Devi and Mohan and dig in deeper to address the process of grief, which, as Kaling shares, can be really complicated. It is going to be personal for her because she has experienced what it is like to lose a parent. She, like the rest of us, absolutely loves the scenes between Mohan and Devi and has called actor Senthil Ramamurthy incredible, and rightfully so. The show, according to Kaling, is going to explore how our relationship with our parents continues in different ways, even after they are no longer around. To give us more of a scoop on Devi's life, Kaling revealed that Devi is definitely going to be making a whole lot of mistakes, and the gang is reportedly going to be applying for colleges. So it would be interesting to see what that whole process does to her and what it brings out in her personality. Will there be a Season 4? Mindy Kaling has made it clear that the show cannot last forever. She expressed that, being teenagers, the characters are clearly maturing a lot, and after a certain point, it would make no sense to keep them in high school. She still thinks that there are more stories to tell, though, so we are hopeful that Season 3, at the very least, is not going to be the show's last. Mindy also shared that she is really happy with their partnership with Netflix, and that since the previous seasons of the show have been huge hits around the globe, she feels really hopeful about the upcoming season as well. Here's to hoping that the showrunners have many more stories to tell, and that we can have the show continue for many more seasons to come. That's a wrap for this video. Are you hyped about the third season of Never Have I Ever? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.